Hi, welcome to Creative Wings lesson on articulation and projection. Today we're going to start off with a nice warm-up exercise. Mr. Strange Land of Interesting Sweets. What is articulation? Articulation is the clarity with which we pronounce our words. Articulation has a lot to do with our facial muscles and how we form our mouth to get specific sounds and words. I'm going to show you a few exercises now to better your articulation. These are exercises you can do every day, and they also work as very nice warm-up exercises before you need to go and perform. The first one is the yawn. Now, I'm not yawning in every video because I'm bored or tired. It's because the yawn is the perfect exercise to stretch all your facial and neck muscles. So, give me a nice big yawn, pull a face if that helps, and make sure you take a nice deep breath to help you relax a bit as well. You can do this exercise 10 times a day before you are going to see any improvement. That is why it is so important to do these exercises every day. And don't worry about how you look. When you're at home, no one's watching you anyway. And if there is someone, let them laugh. You're going to laugh at me now. So let's just do it together and have some fun. If it hurts in your jaw or it feels like your mouth is going to tear open, it's nothing to worry about. It's just because these muscles aren't used to being stretched that much. And that's why you have to do these exercises so regularly. Next, we are going to do some lip trills. Now, all you are going to do is you're going to blow out air through your mouth, but you're going to keep your lips nice and close to one another so that when the air goes through, your lips start vibrating. It's very important not to put your lips too close together or tighten them too much, because then the wind won't be able to go through. And if they are too wide, no sound will come through. So make sure you pick a note. You can vary the notes as well if you want to, but pick a note and then you blow the air through your lips. Okay. Try and do this exercise with one breath for as long as you possibly can. And if you struggle, it will help if you take your hands and put them underneath your cheekbones and press your cheeks up a bit. This will put all the muscles in the places they're supposed to be and make it a little bit easier for you. So take a nice deep breath and then we're going to do it again. And you can go on as long as you possibly can. If you tighten your lips too much, it'll look like this. And the wind won't be able to go through. If you keep them too loose, the sound won't come through and just wind. You see, that doesn't work either. So you can do this exercise for about 5 minutes every day and see if you can use your breath to go on as long as you possibly can. It's also gonna itch a little bit around your nose and your mouth. Scratch, don't worry about it, that's normal, and just go on. Next, we are doing tongue trills. This is basically the same as the previous exercise, and we're going to blow out wind and make a sound, but we're going to use our tongue to roll an R sound. This is especially difficult for English-speaking people and a great exercise for you to do to loosen your tongue, because you don't roll your R's as often when you speak. You can open and close your mouth as you do this exercise to stretch your facial muscles as well. This exercise is called sakke, and most of my drama pupils know it already and they absolutely hate doing it because you look ridiculous, but it really helps to relax all your facial muscles. So you're going to say the word sakke, and I want you to tighten all your facial muscles into a knot so that you look absolutely ridiculous. And then you're going to say jockey, 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 and then you open everything up as wide as you can. Ah! Okay, so let's do it together. Jockey, 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 ah! This exercise is called toothbrush conversations. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to make you have a conversation with your toothbrush. You are going to put the toothbrush in your mouth as if you are brushing your teeth And while you do that, I want you to say a sentence. My sentence is going to be, you need to brush your teeth every day. Let's do it. You need to brush your teeth every day. You need to brush your teeth every day. You need to brush your teeth every day. Now what happens when we do that is it forms a space in our mouth. So we can't properly move our lips or close our mouths. But this is actually very important when we speak. We must open up everything inside our mouth. And it forces us to use our lips more exaggerated so that we can get the sounds out. So now I want you to do the same without putting your toothbrush in your mouth, but keeping the spaces on the inside. We need to brush our teeth every day. We need to brush our teeth every day. Now you can say the sentence normally, but focus on still using your lips as much and keeping a space open on the inside. We need to brush our teeth every day. Tongue twisters are also very useful when it comes to articulation. They are also great mental exercises because you need to focus extremely well when you do tongue twisters. We are going to do 6 different tongue twisters, 3 in Afrikaans and 3 in English. You can do each one 3 times and try doing it faster every time you do it. But make sure you focus on very clear and almost over-exaggerated pronunciation. Sunny sê, Sunny sal, sewe sakke sout sleep. Sunny sê, Sunny sal, sewe sakke sout sleep. My pa rol 3 rolle draad oor die dak. My pa rol 3 rolle draad oor die dak. My liewe neef Lou se neus juk nou. My liewe neef Lou se neus juk nou. Purple paper people live in a purple paper place. Purple paper people live in a purple paper place. Red leather, yellow leather. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red welly, yellow welly. Red leather, yellow leather. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red welly, yellow welly. Tom the tall tailor took the time to tie 2 tall trees together. Tom the tall tailor took the time to tie 2 tall trees together. Tom the tall tailor took the time to tie 2 tall trees together. In this video's description down below, you will find a few links to tongue twisters that are a little bit more complicated and advanced. So if you find that the previous ones are easy and you can do it with ease, you can go to these links and go do some more tongue twisters. Articulation is one of the most important things when it comes to public speaking or performing. But articulation means nothing if you can't project the sound all the way to the people in the audience. So, what is projection? Projection is the strength of speaking or singing whereby the voice is used loudly and clearly. We often use the phrase, your voice must carry. It is very important to project your voice and not shout. To achieve this, proper breathing is essential. You need to breathe with your diaphragm to be able to project your voice. How do I know whether I'm projecting or shouting? With projecting, the sound is mostly deep and round, but when we shout, the sound is flatter and higher. For example, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Did you hear the difference? How do I learn to project my voice? Like we said earlier, breathing is the key when it comes to projection. And you need to breathe properly with your diaphragm. Here is a nice exercise to practice this. I want you to take a deep breath, but focus on breathing correctly into your abdominal cavity without lifting your shoulders, opening everything up so that you can take a nice deep breath. Then I want you to force all the breath out on a ha sound. It must feel like someone punched you in the gut. This helps us to force out all the air on one sound, and it takes the sound further and makes it louder. Let's go. Ha! It must feel like someone's literally punching all the air out of you. You can do this about 5 times and try to make it louder every time you do it without shouting. The second thing that's very important is visualization. You need to be able to focus all your energy on one specific point and focus on making the sound reach that point. It's also important to imagine how your sound fills the entire room around you. Here's a nice way to practice this. You will need 5 items that you can put on the floor. Go find a nice open room with big space. Or if you don't have that, go outside, because it's even bigger, and the bigger the space, the louder you will need to speak. Now I want you to go put your 5 items on the floor. The first one must be 2 meters away from you. And then you put the second one 2 meters further, and you go on like that. What you are going to do is you are going to choose a sentence that you're going to say. And you are going to focus on saying that sentence and reaching the first item with your voice. Then you're going to say the sentence again and make sure your sound travels all the way to the second item, and then the third and the fourth and the fifth. Focus on your breathing while you are busy doing this. Try and see how much breath you need to be able to speak loud enough to reach each item. When you have done this a few times, take away all the other items and only leave your last and furthest item. Now you're going to say the same sentence again. Make sure the sound reaches that item every time. And figure out how much breath you need to be able to push your sound that far so that everybody can hear. Because when you're on a stage, you want the person right at the back to hear every word you say, no matter how big the space is around you. Please be very careful not to use too much breath when you are speaking. Your breath is supposed to be the power source of your voice and not just a breeze blowing across your vocal cords. When I use too much breath, I will sound like a snake or as if I'm whispering because there's too much breath coming out while I speak. Your voice still needs to be crisp and clear when you project your voice. Go watch this video. They do a lot of exercises and explain in more detail how you can prevent yourself from speaking with too much breath. Like everything else, Perfecting articulation and projection is a marathon and not a sprint. You can't think that you're going to do everything perfect after only doing these exercises once or twice. This is something you need to do every day to better yourself. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I really hope you learned something. We are excited to see you again next week, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.